Hey garden friends, let me show you what's going on in my garden in the middle of April. I'm Amanda, the ever hopeful gardener, and I'm glad you're joining me today. The entrance to my garden consists of these long rectangular beds where I have all my peonies planted and this arch that I planted 2 David Austin roses on. I have also added in a ton of other flowers to complement the peonies. I've got things like calendula poppies that are getting ready to bloom. There's a peony that's blooming. I've also planted cosmos and stevia, coneflowers, snapdragons that are getting ready to bloom, and the roses are getting ready to pop off. There's tons of buds everywhere, and people do ask me what I treat or spray my roses with, and the answer is nothing. I am going to see if I can grow roses completely chemical and spray free. I'm not saying it's going to work, but that is what I am attempting. The rest of my garden is primarily vegetables. However, I'm a big fan of planting flowers intermixed with all the vegetables. This is a Vego arch, and I really like it. I did add some string. I've got sweet peas climbing up it right now, and I like to plant garlic around the outsides of my raised beds. I think it does help with some pest and wildlife deterrence. And surprising to me, at middle of April, I do already have my hardneck garlic forming scapes. And I want to show you guys this. This is Swiss chard. The variety is pink lipstick. It is one of the most vibrant colored Swiss chards I've ever seen. I think it's gorgeous. Even if you don't eat Swiss chard, which is delicious, by the way, it's just too beautiful not to grow. You'll also notice that I like to cram a ton of things in. This makes it less likely to have weeds, and I just feel like plant spacing requirements are more of advice versus a rule. So I still have a lot of my winter stuff going, but I have gone ahead and planted summer things like peppers and tomatoes. Something I really love doing to maximize my space is, well, 2 things actually. I love cattle panel arches. They're so versatile. They are relatively easy to install in your garden and relatively inexpensive compared to other options. But making some DIY rain gutter planters to hang on the arches increases your growing space. Right now, I've got peas and strawberries going in mine. You can also do things like lettuce. And what's especially awesome is in the summer, when you've got something vining on your arch and your lettuce is in your gutter planters, it gets enough shade so that it doesn't bolt right away. As you can see in this bed back here, we already have strawberries. I feel like I'm playing with fire, that something's going to come along and think, oh, that's delicious, but hopefully we'll get to eat it. Oh, look, there's another one. Again, you can see in my beds, I really smash so much stuff in. We've got strawberries and kale and Swiss chard and pansies and sweet peas along the horse fence in the back. I think this bed is a fun bed. It has my Freyr Trellis. This is one of the things I use to trellis tomatoes. My tomatoes have been planted all along the trellis, and I need to order some string, and I will run string down to landscape pins and then use those tomato clips to help the tomatoes grow along the string. These are Egyptian walking onions, which they're so fun. They form these bulbils at the top. They flop over, and then the bulbils they plant themselves. So the onions, in essence, walk through your garden and spread. They're a great all-purpose green onion, and they're year-round. I can come out and cut them whenever I want. These are hops. This is a hop vine that my husband is growing. This will be our 3rd year attempting to grow hops. We have yet to actually have a hop form on any of the vines, but maybe this year will be the year. I have another cattle panel arch on the other side of the garden, as well as more gutter planters. This bed is going to be squash and pumpkins. Right now we've got some tail end winter stuff like collard, Swiss chard, and lettuce still going. And then again, I like to plant onions or garlic around the outsides of my beds in hopes of deterring rabbits from coming to munch on the salad bar. I've been slowly getting my warm weather crops in, like tomatoes, white marigolds, basil, and I love, love, love putting pansies at the front of all of my raised metal beds. These are Nature Antique Shades pansies. This bed is a little sad. I did plant celery down the middle of it. Something ate all of it. So now I've got a couple peppers and some Thai basil, but really I need to figure out what is going to go in this bed. I have some leftover mustards from winter. On the bee barn, I have growing a star jasmine. This produces cream colored flowers with the most amazing fragrance. Oh, look, some are blooming. And in my Zone 8A North Carolina garden, this vine, while not as vibrant, does keep its leaves all winter long. So I love having it as a climber on several things in our yard. This is a work in progress. I am going to be planting this with natives that complement the vegetables and fruits I'm growing. These are thornless raspberries, and this whole area will be native plants and flowers that complement the raspberries and other fruits and vegetables I'm growing. We have a section of blueberry bushes over here, and they are going bananas. And we've tried putting different types of cages and bird netting on these. The thin bird netting can catch snakes in it. That's not great. And the cage ended up being super annoying to try and harvest the blueberries. I think we're at the point where we might drape a little bit of wide bird netting on the top. I think we're at the point where we're just willing to share these with the birds and squirrels and not try and do anything. Just so you don't think everything is looking good. Here's a behind the scenes of a compost flip in process. All the greens I've pulled out of the garden, the bolted winter vegetables, some coffee grounds, wood chips, and we're gonna be flipping these piles, adding water, and getting them cooking. Thanks for walking in my garden with me today. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I try and answer all of the comments that I get. And I'll go ahead and put links to the majority of the things seen in this video, but don't hesitate to reach out.